Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio. Today, we're super excited to welcome back our friend Victoria Chick. She is an amazing contemporary figurative artist and a 19th, 20th century print collector, right? We've known Victoria for years. You've heard her on our shows, and today is our first time doing a Zoom video Big Blend Radio podcast with her. So you may be listening or you may be watching, but she is based in Silver City, New Mexico. And Nancy, what I can't remember, was it a couple of weeks ago we were there, a week ago,
Yeah,
2 weeks, a
something
month.
like that.
We were there. We finally got to spend some time with Victoria and Mike and revisit Silver City. We stayed at Bear Mountain Lodge. It was awesome. And
Yeah, that
that's an
was
art
super.
destination. But today we're going to focus on Silver City becoming an art destination. You know, you think about art in New Mexico, you immediately think Santa Fe, Taos, right? Albuquerque is also doing some good stuff, but Silver City is out in the southwest corner of the state. It is connected to the Gila Wilderness Area, the Gila National Forest, the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument, very close to Tucson, El Paso, Las Cruces. So it's really this quaint area, but also spread out with all the different communities. And really, I mean, we've been covering Silver City since you moved there, Victoria. So welcome back.
Thank you.
And it's been in our community.
It's been quite a while.
It has been.
Yes,
It's
it
over
has.
10 years, right? That you've been there? I mean, how I can't keep
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Yeah, because we were
Actually, it's I think it's been almost 16 years.
Oh,
But-
wow.
But 10 years since we've been in this house.
okay.
Can you hear the rain that's pounding right now?
Wow. Is that what it is? I was hearing like a
No,
different change.
we don't get rain until I have a program to do with you.
See, but that's it. We're the
We
rainmakers.
bring the rain, and that's cool.
Remember, we come from Africa, or we lived in Africa. I shouldn't say we come from there, but we do rain dances really well. And, you know, when we think about the Southwest, the West needs rain. So I'm really glad to
Yes.
hear that. But yeah, I mean, I think back, I mean, I think when we started covering Silver City, when you and Mike moved there, it was when we were Southwest Blend, like
Yes,
back in our print
yes.
days,
It's still a
even.
print magazine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was we moved here in 2006.
Wow. So yeah, this has been a while. So this is awesome to see how it's grown. And when you took us around the other day, it was just great to see so many new murals. And it just seems like the entire town has really said, okay, we really are the arts. And in your latest article, you talk about this, you talk about Silver City being an art destination. And it really was in 2006 that it was put on the map. What you were saying by John Villani in his book,
Yes.
The 100 Best Art Towns in America.
That was interesting. We moved here. We visited. We actually first drove through Silver City, and then we visited about 2 weeks later because it looked interesting. But like a lot of people that visit here, within 24 hours, we were looking and talking to real estate dealers.
Ah,
It was an easy decision to move here, and
Wow.
so. Like I feel like the rest is history, but this John Villani, he wrote the book, which we had not read, the same year that we moved here. And I got a copy of the book after we were here, and it was really nice to be in company of other places that I'd heard of, and other places that I knew that were really great art destinations. And I was glad that this place was included in that.
How many galleries do you think are in Silver City? Galleries and studios?
Right now there are 18. We lost a few during the COVID
Sure.
panic last year. We've also gained a few. So since I've lived here, there's been anywhere from like 15 to 25 art galleries.
Wow.
It's always a really active place because we get a lot of you guys know about Silver City because you've been here, but we are not on the way to anywhere. We are unless you're really building cliff dwellings, then we're on the way. But people make a special trip to come here because of the art and because of all also the very good restaurants and all the other activities and of course the National Forest that virtually surrounds Silver City.
I was thinking about this the other day about Silver City and art, and we've over the years talked about New Mexico and the Southwest, how it, inspired artists to move out because of the light. Your
Yeah.
your article, we were talking about your article, and our latest interview with you was about lighting in art. And
Yes.
from us going from the Midwest and snow to knowing the Southwest and light, that how it changes. But I was thinking about Silver City, and just having recently been there, and I kind of feel like Silver City is really invested in nature and invested in the history of the area, of keeping the cultural history, the natural history. It just seems like that is what makes the art happen, whether it's ancient
What
art like the
inspires
Membrace pottery, right? Yeah, it's like everyone seems to have this respect of the land, of the cultural history, and also that brings people there. So I feel like it is that respect that makes the art happen.
Well, I think you're right. In fact, it's not, you sort of think of people as holding on to the past. You think that maybe they're old timers or something, but, and we do have a lot of old timers here that are invested in keeping ranching going, for example, or keeping the wilderness. But it's not just those people, because the people that move here because they're attracted to the very things that you're talking about. And they join groups that clean up, keep the trails clean. They join groups like Backcountry Horsemen, for instance, Backcountry Horsemen clears about 100 miles a year of trails in the national forest where trees have fallen over and so forth. And they make the ability to enjoy nature close up allowable, because the people have an access now to get in and out of the forest. So it's really good. There are like, I think there's like 3 or 4 trails groups now, and all the trails groups coordinate. So they always have a plan going for improving access to the forest.
You got the Continental Trail too, something we haven't talked about as much.
It's one of the groups, the Continental Divide Trail Group here, active. And
I think Silver City has a charm about it because it is who it is. It's not overly fancy, but you have everything that you need. So I find it a destination that's easy because you have what you need, but it isn't overwhelming with skyscrapers and skyscrapers and busy streets and all that.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello, kitten.
You were saying you have a cat. I have a cat too.
Hey, kitten.
Cat bomb.
Kitty.
Cat bomb on
This
the
is
podcast.
Natasha.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
this is Natasha.
Hey, Natasha.
Hi, kitten. I would, everybody listening to this, they're going to be like, what happened? It was a cat bomb. I mean, you have photo bombs, but this is a Zoom bomb of a cat. But
That's funny.
but sorry, Nancy, carry on. That's funny.
No, I was just saying that the town is welcoming. It's not overwhelming, but it's got little secrets everywhere.
Yeah, like Billy the
There's something
Kid.
going on all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm really interested in visual art, but all the arts are bustling here. I mean, there's music everywhere. All the restaurants have music. The bars have music. There's outdoor festivals where music is involved. So
it's fun.
Some of this, we have a famous blues festival, a 3-day free blues festival around Memorial Day every year.
Isn't that the largest free blues festival in the West or something? It's I think of the West, something like that.
Well, I know what makes it unique is that you don't have to pay to enjoy it. And so we attract thousands and thousands of people. And yet, even with a crowd that's really large, there's no no disturbance really. It's like everybody's at having a good time. It's a family affair, so you really don't have to worry about
Yeah. Stupid
mobs-
stuff
mobs.
happening.
Yeah,
We don't have, it's like the Hells Angels aren't going to take over
Yeah,
the town. No. But you've got the blues and I know Taj Mahal has been scheduled for a while and COVID happened and all kinds of things and hoping, but you've got that. And then the Clay Festival. I know we've done shows on the Clay Festival,
Yes.
but that's like been going like 10 years now. And that's like, again, talking about that natural and historical connection to art.
Well, Lee Gruber, who was the developer of that, is really into thinking of clay as a symbol of New Mexico. Because you can go back in history, you've got very, very like 2 centuries ago, people were making things out of clay here. The Mimbres Indians, we've got a museum here that's devoted to the Mimbres pottery. We've got the Clay Festival that reveres that history, but goes farther and not just pottery, but talks about building with clay, the adobe building. Right now, a lot of people are building with earth. So there's a lot of involvement in different kinds of earth and clay and the natural elements that are available to build with here. I'm always surprised that we don't build a lot of things out of rock because
you have a lot of rocks.
As much rock as we have today.
You've got the city of rocks around the corner too, right?
Yeah.
That state park, and petroglyphs and, the hoodoos too. When you go out in the Gila Wilderness area, you see all the hoodoos.
I love those hoodoos.
And the
I
rocks,
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful area.
Really?
Thinking about the pottery and the Mimbres, and so the New Mexico, isn't it the Western United University? What the New Mexico University you have there? It's like the Western New Mexico University.
Western New Mexico University.
Yeah, so that does the Mimbres pottery, and for folks who aren't of the Southwest or that just the Mimbres pottery, this is something ancient.
Oh yes, it's prehistoric. It's not that far in time as like the some of the archaeological finds in the Mideast, but it is prehistoric. And the pottery tells a lot about the people. So it's interest to archaeologists. It's interesting to anthropologists. And it's interesting to anybody that goes, really, because of designs that these people accomplished on with the decoration. It's really, really, really beautiful.
When you think about such history, and you go to today, you've got the galleries, you've got studios all throughout the region, not just in Silver City, the hub. You're in Arenas Valley, but you've got art everywhere, basically. A lot of artists, musicians. You've got a lot of writers. I know that you have a literary festival too that happens in the fall.
Yeah.
But when you think about all that, let's go to now. You've also got youth involved in creating murals and mosaic murals all around the downtown, all over Silver City.
The mural program is really fantastic. They've been doing it for maybe like 8 years or so. In the mural program, it's the youth that are involved, and those are kids mostly kids in junior high school, and some lower grades, and at whatever level that they are able to work, they're brought in to assist in the mural. But
that's cool.
There's a lead artist for every mural. And the lead artist doesn't go in and tell them what they're going to do. The lead artists involve them in the whole process of talking about what's the subject going to be, what should be included, how should it be organized, what colors should we use. So the kids are involved through the whole process, and then the actual making of the mural. And then when the mural is all done, it's dedicated in public ceremony. And these kids that work on these murals feel really good about it. It's an accomplishment, and it's accomplishment not only for themselves, but it makes them feel good about the town. And I always think one of the neat things is that we never have trouble with graffiti in Silver City, because the kids are involved in doing something public, and then each kid respects all the other kids' murals. So we've got hundreds, well, not hundreds, we've got approaching, I don't know, 60 murals now. And some of them are painted, some of them are done with ceramic pieces. I turned close the cat again. she's trying to you know, there's the photo bomb, and this cat is going farther than that. I'm trying to get it to him.
That's funny, you know, and you know, it's interesting. Our photos behind us, for those who are watching the photo bomb of the cat. We've got a mural behind us, and it's a mosaic that is, and it's only a small portion of it, and it's part of the big ditch, which is what used to be Main Street in Silver City. And, you know, the floodings happened. And I just want to say, it was a woman engineer who stood up and said, aha, this is what we need to do. Let's make a ditch. And, you know, when you go to Silver City, New Mexico, I encourage you to go to the visitor center first. And they have a solar car station there, which is cool. They've got murals and paintings right there. It's part of the New Mexico Birding Trail. And this is a wonderful park. It's a community park. A lot of walking along the little ditch river thingy. I'm going to call it that, because it's not a real river. It's a ditch with water that goes through once in a while.
It is spring fed now.
It's spring fed.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, yeah. Okay. And then
So it's real.
It's real. And don't forget the Gila River, not in the big ditch, but the Gila River is a special place. And there are hot springs out in the area too. So speaking on a destination, you can go, you know, rest your bones. If you've been on the horse trails, you may want to go to a hot spring afterwards. But, you know, the big ditch downtown is really cool, because it's kind of like you can walk over this little walkway. You can walk your dog, you can sit on a bench, just bird watch. And the downtown district is right there with old theaters, not just music and galleries, but you got the theaters there too, which is, I think, I don't know, the downtown, Silver City downtown it's
fun,
special. So many places get rid of their history, and it's just so original. There's nothing cookie cutter about your downtown.
No.
Right. And that's what makes it special. You know?
Right.
Because when you're there,
Susan Berry, who used to be she was a director at the museum, and she wrote a book about Silver City's architecture, and it was called Built to Last. And it was very interesting to me in moving here for the first time. I've been in towns like old Wild West towns, and most of the buildings are made of wood, and you hear about frequent fires in these towns when they were early on, before they had much in the way of fire departments. But Silver City, most of the buildings were made out of brick. And so there was this period of time where they did make brick here. They had the facility to fire the brick. And so we have a lot of buildings that are typical of things you might see in the East Coast or the Midwest. Brick buildings with wraparound porches and gingerbread trim and so forth. And those are contrasted against the buildings that were made of adobe and one story and flat roofed and so forth. So there's a lot of variety in the architecture, which I think is one of the things that makes the town interesting to drive around.
Yeah, and the museum, if you go to the museum downtown, and that's where Susan Berry, that's how we met her when she used to work at the museum.
Yes.
We have her book, and she's been on our shows years ago. But that museum, that's an interesting building in itself, and it's right downtown, which is so cool. And on the other side of the museum is another cool mosaic mural. The one that I was going to say, Dia de los Muertos, I'm not going to say it right. Dia de los Muertos. It's a beautiful mosaic mural with butterflies. So you've got the mariposas and monarchs, and it's basically like the Day of the Dead mural.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a fabulous mural. Across the street from that mural is the old post office, And that that building right now is we are trying to purchase that building to make an art museum out of it, fine art museum. We have a fundraiser coming up, so we're in the process of developing excitement for the project.
Cool.
This is
And,
cool
we hope
because
that it's one of these projects that's going to continue and expand.
I know that, you got this initiative going. We've talked about it a few years ago on the show, and it's so amazing to see everything start to come in place to
Right.
have a fine art museum. So is this a Southwest art museum, or is it strictly New Mexico?
Southwest Regional Museum of Art and Art Center. And we picked the regional because as you alluded to at the beginning of the show, there's a lot going on in the northern part of the state. There's Santa Fe, there's Taos, and so forth, that are very well known for their wonderful art programs. But if you think of Silver City, or think of the state of New Mexico being divided by a mountain range, and you come to understand that each region is a little bit isolated from the other regions, and one region is not entirely accessible from every other region. So it's important to us down here in the southwest part of New Mexico to start developing our own art museum, because right now it would be a 7-hour drive for us to go to Santa Fe, even though we're in the same state. So
There's a lot going on in, like what you're saying, even Las Cruces. By the way, Las Cruces has the giant, I have to bring up the giant roadrunner. We went and we stopped there on our way.
That was so cool.
On our way to Texas, or we were actually
cool.
on our way to Florida. We did have to make a stop there because I'm like,
That was just
we
cool.
have to go say hello to the roadrunner, and everybody
Yes.
knows the roadrunner out there. If you drive, 10 back and forth across the country, but it's Las Cruces, I think, is also in a big development. So it's kind of a connection with what's going on there. And you've got El Paso, and then Tucson. And Tucson has all those smaller communities like Wilcox with the wine country. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just this, if you think
this
about
area,
driving.
This area has there's a lot of really rich opportunity here in the Southwest. Sometimes you have to go away between, there goes the cat again. Go between, you see you going like this. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff, even though there's some distance between the things. It's useful to take it, 2 or 3 days and just explore the area, because there's some things here in the Southwest that you can never see anywhere else.
Yeah, I am a great believer of slow it down and take your time and go. Like, if we see a street name or whatever that has an interesting name, we'll go see how did it get its name? Why does it have that name? And if you go down a particular road, you'll find out why it had that name. So I like that. Just meander around. Don't be on the freeway all the time and in a big rush. I mean, I get to, when you have to, but to really travel and enjoy and learn, I say take the slow road. And get off, especially in your area, because
it's beautiful.
It's magical, and there's a lot to learn. Like, we stumble on things that, like that, what, Lisa, that museum that had Billy the Kid, which relates to Silver City.
Yeah, well, Silver City outside the visitor center has a replica of what would have been his home as a kid with his mom.
Right.
And we were driving through kind of southern New Mexico, near Roswell area, and Cloudcroft and Fort Sumner, I believe.
Lincoln County, New Mexico. He spent a lot of time in Lincoln County.
Yeah, and we found his grave. We were just on our way. We were on our way to,
like, whoa.
We were driving from Lubbock.
Got lost.
Lubbock to Taos. Yeah, we went through Cloudcroft. Cloudcroft has some and Santa Rosa has some interesting murals too.
And so does Tularosa.
Yeah, we didn't get to do a whole much there. Yeah, and so there's a lot. I don't know, New Mexico does keep it real. They say, New Mexico true, hashtag New Mexico true. I always use that on social media. It is the land of enchantment, but it's like so real. And we went to Fort Sumner and it was a Billy the Kid's grave. We're like, stop
No
the
way.
car, pull
Yeah.
around, because we had to make that connection. And what was very interesting is going to his graveyard, and there's military heroes buried there, local townspeople, but him and his pals who were also in the shoot up, by Pat Garrett shooting him, they were all buried there. But their tombstone, their original tombstone, has been stolen like 3 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they've managed to get it back, and now it's behind a cage. So like
Yeah.
Billy the Kid's
Yeah.
legend is just so, because you don't know
It's
how much is
crazy.
really true.
I think it's really interesting how people, I include myself, are attracted to bad guys,
Yeah, because he wasn't good.
When I grew up in Missouri, that was Jesse James country. Then
Yes,
I come
he-
here, it's Billy the Kid. But another famous bandit bandits that were here, they worked on one of the ranches just west of town, was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And they were ranch workers here
No
See?
way. No
That's so
way.
cool.
on the Lion Ranch.
Wow.
Listen, I loved that story, because just even like, the whole like wall and
Yeah.
going down south. And
Yeah.
I find it took me years to get into all of that, but once I find that story is cool. And listen, who doesn't want to watch a movie with Paul Newman in it? I'm sorry, it took me a long time to watch that movie.
Well, the interesting thing, this place now they've opened up to guests, so you may very well be able to sleep in the bunkhouse that Butch Cassidy slept in.
Is that Nan's Ranch?
Yeah, no, Nan Ranch is another great spot, but this one is the Lions Ranch, and it's west of town, probably about 25 miles at least.
Wow. So, I mean, this is the history, and I think that draws artists and writers and musicians.
Oh,
I mean, you think
yeah.
about Jesse James, like Ry Cooder did a whole album on Jesse
Mm.
James. And I think that's what's so cool. Travel is about finding the unique. And right now we are in the wave, no matter what age group, we are in the wave of travelers seeking authentic, real experiences. And if you're going to do that, you've got to look at nature. You've got to have a
Yeah.
really good downtown that's unique and kept its story.
Right.
Art plays every role in that. The arts, whatever form it is, plays every role. I think what's really good about what you're doing with the museum, the Fine Art Museum, is that kind of that's like the cornerstone, the stamp of approval of we're real about this. That's kind of that, I don't want to be like government about it, but
No, but that's the tellers of history. I always look at the
a lot
art.
of people think of art as being pretty, and it certainly can be. But the other thing that you see, especially in some of the art that we're collecting, is that there's a lot of history,
Right.
in the art, because we have things from 1875 clear up to the present day. So you can, if you're looking at landscape, you can see how the land has changed.
Yeah.
For instance,
Absolutely.
or what people were interested in, and during a certain period. It isn't bad, it's the phone. So
phone bomb.
So there's all kinds of different ways to look at art and get things out of it.
With the museum are, with this coming together, and I know you're at the beginning of fundraising stages, trying to purchase buildings. When you look at it, I know that you've already started acquiring art, and donors have been giving you art, which I think is fantastic.
Yes.
People are coming out of like, hey, this is really cool. And
That's
not
true.
just from Silver City, from, outside of the area, which is great. And you think about the Southwest has ties to the entire country and also international. So many people come. But with that, are you looking at doing programs that are educational?
Well, all in a museum situation, the art is arranged or curated and then hung or standing or whatever type of art it is. It's developed, the exhibit is developed to be educational, and that's true in just about every single museum.
Right.
You know, what is in a certain exhibit somehow has a connection with another piece and all the other pieces of the exhibit. So from an exhibition standpoint, it will always be educational. Some other things that we're doing that are educational in nature is that we're part of the Southwest Regional Museum of Art has a little more to it, and it's called And Art Center. And so that is an art making aspect of this project that we have where people can come, residents can use it. We're going to have classes
Cool.
Nice.
for all ages. We're going to probably develop a tourist art vacation, where people can come by appointment. You know, we need a little bit of a reservation, and they'll talk about what they might want, what medium they might want to use, and so forth. They can come and spend a week. They can spend 3 days. They can spend 2 days, and with us, and we will develop a art program just for them.
So
Wow.
that's very European. The art holiday is something that Europe has been doing for a long time now, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And people love the West. They really
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
I see that as a really great tool for Europeans who really are into John Wayne and the West.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
no, they are.
it's
mean,
got the
it's
art,
true.
nature, and history.
Yeah,
That I
it's
think, and then the culinary
yeah.
arts on top
Yeah.
of it.
It's
Yeah.
like a giant intersection, and
Yeah.
a lot can happen there.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
That's a great idea.
It's exciting
Cool.
because you've got so many different kinds of lodgings too. You know, I was talking about us staying at Bear Mountain Lodge, which is, they have a gallery on site. There's art all over the property, and you can
that's a
hike and do,
nice
but again,
place.
that art, nature, history connection. But you know, you think about downtown, you've got the Murray Hotel, which is this really, just incredibly, you know, restored and renovated Art Deco
Yeah.
hotel with history of movie stars riding their horses onto the elevator, you know.
And the Palace Hotel downtown also.
That's
Plus
right.
a lot of bed and breakfast. So
A lot of bed
it's
and
very nice.
breakfast. And then you've got your normal chain hotels too, for those who want that. And so it's set up and ready. And I feel like
Right.
that's that time frame for Silver City to stand out. And you're really, when you think about getting off the interstate at 10, you're so
Yeah.
close. You know,
Right.
you're so easy to go up. I mean, it's what, not even an hour, or is it an hour? I can't remember.
It's only 45 miles.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yes.
Come on. That's
So
just,
it does, yeah, it takes less than an hour.
oh, well, that's nothing. But even the drive we did from Albuquerque down to you, we found all these natural wildlife, like,
So much fun.
I'm not going to say it right. Bosque,
Yeah.
Bosque,
The
Development.
Bosque.
Yeah.
Bosque.
Bosque.
We went there,
Bosque.
amazing bird watching and wildlife. And so the drive from Albuquerque area, so between 40 and 10, basically, when you think about the
Yeah.
interstates, you're real close. You're also real close. I know you have your own airport in the county, but you're real close. You know,
Yeah.
for national park travelers, you could fly into Tucson, which is an international airport. You've got El Paso, you've got really easy access, and you're on a loop of travel for national park travelers because of the Gila cliff dwellings. You've got Carlsbad Caverns, White Sands. You've got the City of Roxford State Parks. I mean, we all like, it doesn't matter the designation when it comes to what you're interested in. Saguaro National Park, not that far from you. Chiricahua, Fort Bowie. I mean, you could do this whole loop and just stay in that area and experience so much and have Silver City as the hub, you know?
Hey, I'd come if I
I
wasn't
know,
living here.
I'm ready to come home.
Exactly.
I want
I
to
know.
talk
Talked me
home.
into it.
I know.
I know.
mean,
It's
you know,
like, come
Tucson,
on.
you were like Tucson when we lived in Tucson. You were only like a couple, 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And you go through the
And-
Dragoon Mountains. It's beautiful with
That's
all the rock
You mentioned
formations.
the airport here. we have one airline, which is very, very good, and it connects to Albuquerque and it connects to Phoenix.
Oh,
So
wow.
anybody from
Yeah.
around the country could fly into either airport and get a connector here.
What
There's
about
two-
people with
there's
their
two a
little
day.
planes? I mean, I know if you own a plane, it's not a little plane. That's an investment. So I don't mean it that way, but you know what I mean? You've got your plane. Some people just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to fly to Silver City today. Can people do that?
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh,
Mm,
see, I
yep.
want a little plane, but nobody wants to see me fly a little plane. I'll
Are
just
you
get
going to
in
be
there.
the pilot?
Heck no. No,
Oh,
no.
good.
I'm going to
In
be
the-
drinking champagne in the back.
Yeah, these the planes are planes that fly here right now. I think they're 12 passenger planes
Mm.
plus
Oh, nice.
plus the crew, and everything is like leather business class. You know, it's very nice.
Victoria, just for folks coming out there, we touched a lot about, the art, what there is to see and do, getting there, right? But the food, we need to just touch on this because the culinary arts, are a big deal in Silver City. And from what I recall, very much farm to table, very much quality of ingredient is a big deal, but the arts are really a part of it. It's, and then you've also got home style cooking, Mexican, New Mexico authentic food.
Yeah.
So that's something else that I just wanted to touch on because it is in the world of arts. And when you travel, you want to taste New Mexico. You want to have the green
Right.
chilies. You must.
We have a number of new restaurants in the last since you've been here. We've got a new restaurant that specializes. It's a very nice restaurant. Specializes in street tacos,
Oh,
which it's really good.
Yum. Yum.
And very reasonably priced. We've got one of my favorites. I shouldn't say favorites because then somebody else is going to get not mentioned here accidentally. But Revel has a great menu. They also have, and a lot of the restaurants right now have patio seating, which is wonderful. You could have patio seating here almost all around the year.
mm.
Maybe there might be 2 weeks in the wintertime where you might not want to sit outside and dine, but I think it's important for people to know that, especially if they're worried about COVID.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah, because it's kind of going back and forth currently. And I
Yeah.
always say, Google, check everyone's website.
Right.
One thing in your article, and everyone, this is up on blendradio.com right now and will be featured in the upcoming issue of Vacation Station Travel Magazine, our new one. Yay. There's just a few, events I want to touch on real quick. We talked about the Clay Festival. You're going to wait for that for next year. And same as, because that's normally July, August. Also, we were talking about the Blues Festival that normally happens over Memorial Weekend.
No, that's in September. Print Festival's in September.
Okay, the Print Festival, Print Fiesta's in September. And then also we've got the Red Dot Studio Tour. That's the weekend, September 4th through 6th. That's a studio tour where people go around, right? That's coming up. Okay.
It's coming up.
And then
after
also,
that, yeah.
go ahead.
Then after that, we have the downtown art walk for all the galleries.
That's in October.
Yeah.
October 9th through 10th, the Red Dot Gallery Walk. But there's also are you still doing the chocolate festival? Like there's that chocolate event?
That usually happens in February.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. And that's where various chocolatiers around Silver City team up with one of the businesses, and they decorate, and you buy for $24 or something like that. You buy a ticket and you get a piece of chocolate from each place you go, and then you're all ready for Valentine's Day.
Perfect. Chocolate in February. I'm just saying, I'm planning ahead.
I want a piece of chocolate.
We're driving through again. I'm just making sure. Like I'm thinking, there's chocolate going on. Holiday season. One thing I remember. Because I know it's different with COVID and things can change, everyone. So when we talk about events, but I remember over the holiday season being like a tamale festival that happens.
Yes, the tamale festival usually in November. And then there's of course the Christmas parade, and there's always a lot of stuff going on around Christmas.
Awesome.
We have a lot of stores that start specializing in Christmas items.
Cool.
is the Tour of the Gila still going on, the cycling event? I know COVID's been, messing with everyone,
It
but
is, it was, the COVID has really messed that up because international travel, we always attract a lot of high-ranking international racers. And that was very difficult last year. And it's still being planned, but I think they've changed the date, and I really don't know what the
Yeah.
date is now. Or the
yeah,
dates.
and
This is-
everyone, there's a
that's
Visit
why-
Silver City website people can go to as
Yes.
well.
Yes, go to Silver City, visit silvercity.com, and they will have updated information on that.
Mm.
Exactly. I think, there's just a lot. I want to just make sure I got that, Silver City, yeah, I have it as .org, but that could be, no,
Oh, yeah.
it is
.org.
.org. It is .org.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone check that out. And there's just a lot going on, which is excellent. And even if events aren't going on in Silver City, like we were saying, there's the murals, there's the food, there's so much, the architecture, the nature, the history, there's so much to see and do, and very excited about this museum, the Fine Art Museum and Center. That's going to be fantastic. So please keep us posted as everything develops. And Victoria, what's the best way for someone to connect with you? Because I know people have been donating art, and also donations are welcome, right? And I know you have
Yes.
fundraisers,
Well,
some of them are by invitation only. So if someone says, I want an
Well, we
invitation,
gratefully accept any kind of donation.
Yeah.
We accept art, we accept money on various forms, and you can have more information. If you could just email me, that would be fine. We
Okay.
also have a website, which is, if I can remember it, give to GIVETO at I gotta write it down, SWRMA.org.
okay. Is there an @ sign in there, really?
I didn't hear that.
That you said an @ sign, like an,
Yes, that's, yeah, the at is in there, yeah.
okay, great. And then, so people can go there, but also everyone, you can keep up with Victoria, and I encourage you to go to her website so you can see her art and her collection of prints. And it's victoriachick.com. So if you want to email her about anything that we've talked about today, you can email her right through there. And of course, you can see her article again up on blendradioandtv.com. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter. It comes out every time we have a new magazine, and that's every 2 weeks to every 20 days. And the next one will have Victoria's article in that. We've
Right.
got our new Eat, Drink, Be Merry magazine out now. We're very proud of that. That took a lot of work because it's all about wine. So it took us a while to get it together, just saying. But it's
Well, we
out.
had to taste test.
We had
you
to
know.
we tasted wine across the country. It took us a couple years of wine tasting to do it. It was awesome. But also keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. We air our shows Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate you all. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all those places. So thanks so much, Victoria. Always great to see you. And tell little kitten, hello, kitten, kitten, kitten.
Yeah, hello, kitten.
I'll pet the cat for you.
Thanks.